Hey guys, Paul from Paul's Body Engineering here. Because I do a lot of glute camps and a lot of work with athletes, particularly female athletes, I wanted to demonstrate the difference between a good and a not so good hip thrust. I've seen it numerous times now whereby particularly females, even though guys do them as well, are throwing their bodies into a hip thrust without much control. Their head is way back, so they can potentially put their lower back or their neck into a dangerous position. So I wanted to just demonstrate what we can do in regards to a hip thrust and ensure that the technique is adequate to the body type and the weight that you're carrying. So, using your standard hip thrusting bench, what we want to do, nice and low on the bridge, so your shoulders are on the back support. Now, it's all about the hip movement. A lot of times you'll see people head back and they're throwing themselves so that their body ends up going backwards with the thrusting movement. What we actually want to do is concentrate on the hip itself and bring that up, excuse my shirt, and bring the hip up through the movement so that the weight sits here and the glutes come up like that, rather than throwing up. Now, where does your head go? Your head should be looking straight ahead. So your head is up like this, and we're moving through the hip thrust in this position here. So that it's all glutes and nothing else. Now, if you see a training buddy or someone throwing their head back like that, it can cause a bit of a problem. So, the best case scenario, head forward. Now, where do you put your feet? Now, that's dependent on every individual. Every individual is different. Lever length is different. Muscle belly or muscle density is different as well. So it's important to find what works for you. So you might have a narrow stance, you might have a wide stance, you might have stance with your toes rotated out. Generally, the rule of thumb for me is placing your feet on the outside of your hips with a slight rotation in your toes. That should give you good stability, good balance, and a good driving platform to get the thrust up. Make sure that when you do bridge, so when you are up to that high point of bridging, that your knee is at a right angle. That then shows that you're in the right position of your feet. If your feet are too far away from your body, you'll bring in too much hamstring. If they're too close, you'll bring in too much quad. So it's important to find that right balance for you. But what I wanted to demonstrate there is a thrusting movement through the hips without throwing your back or your neck forward. So look forward, thrust through the hips, and you'll nail it every time.